Turning Point USA held their annual America Fest convention this weekend, and according to Michael Knowles and Erica Kirk, this was the last Turning Point event that Charlie Kirk ever planned. But something makes me think he didn't plan this part of the convention.
See from behind me, this is a recreation of the tent where Charlie Kirk lost his life at Utah University in September, and people are taking selfies with it. You can see
people are taking selfies in the recreation of the tent where Charlie Kirk was unalived. That is some twisted, dark shit. Like, this girl, who is some fake MAGA journalist, is taking, like, cute hand-on-the-hip pictures in the tent where Charlie Kirk was shot. And she's definitely auditioning for Fox News there with those gams. Turning Point events are always insane, but this one was particularly ridiculous. Like, they called the left insensitive for celebrating Charlie Kirk's death. Like, what the fuck is that? And Erica Kirk is the new CEO. Like, she approved that. I know everybody grieves in their own way, but don't you think it would be traumatizing to see something like that? I mean, she did come out dressed like she was ready for a 70s disco party with the pyrotechnics and everything. At least for her kids' sake, this event is in Phoenix, where she lives. Probably the closest she's been to her kids since they buried Charlie Kirk. And this isn't solely going to be a let's bash on Erica Kirk video, but what the hell is going on with this woman for real? There was an amazing Erica Kirk moment where she made a pretty interesting Freudian slip.
Despite the devastating loss of Charlie Kirk, my incredible husband at UVU, Caleb has persisted with the same gift. Grit. It has been a long day. Trust me, you're not a grifter, honey. It's all good.
Oh my god, she straight up called it a grift. Like, they are just laughing in people's faces at this point. Erica Kirk was there all weekend, just partying it up with the most famous people in the MAGA movement, including their newest inductee into the cult, Nicki Minaj. Now, I don't really know anything about Nicki Minaj. I can't, for the life of me, think of what reasons she would have to join a cult. To join this cult specifically, especially right now during the cover-up of the Epstein files. That's crazy, girl. Erica Kirk, wearing what I can only describe as 2 tents on her legs, interviewed Nicki Minaj. And Nicki Minaj, I don't even know if this was a Freudian slip, she said something absolutely insane. Just gonna show you the clip.
And what do you think about for young men? For young men.
And for young men, don't be new scum. Yes, see, dear young men, you have amazing role models like our handsome, dashing president. And you have amazing role models like the assassin JD Vance, our vice president. And when I say that,
trust me, there's nothing new under the sun that I have not heard, so you're fine. Yes, we did. I love you.
What do you mean by assassin, Nicki Minaj? What an odd thing to say to the wife of a man who was assassinated 3 months ago. Truly an insane moment, and the way she just like freezes up after, like as if she realizes she shouldn't have said that, and they just kind of stare and whisper to each other. Turning Point USA is the friggin' strangest thing. And they have these events all the time, but this was like their big one, like the America Fest. Everyone was there, from Donald Trump Jr. to JD Vance, to Benny Johnson and Steve Bannon and Ben Shapiro. And the first day of Turning Point was just a lot of the MAGA lunatics turning on each other and yelling at each other. Ben Shapiro went after Candace Owens. A lot of them went after Candace Owens. Steve Bannon called Ben Shapiro a cancer.
Shapiro is like a cancer, and that cancer spreads.
Yeah, he also went on a rant about how Ben Shapiro is a never-Trumper and how he's working against Trump. A bunch of people went after Tucker Carlson. It was just like a grievance fest on the first day. And just from my perspective, you're all terrible. Every single one of you. You're all awful, awful people. So please, continue to fight amongst yourselves. Even Riley Gaines was there. That girl's full-time profession is being a whiny MAGA influencer. And her shiny legs came out on the stage to basically call liberals, the left, Satan.
I want to tell you guys to foster unity, focus on defeating the enemy. And when I say defeating the enemy, I'm not talking about the left. Indirectly, maybe I am, but I'm talking about Satan and the power that he has, the real and living power that he has on this earth. And I want to encourage you guys to live a life like Charlie did.
I'm no fashion expert by any means, but every single outfit at Turning Point USA is just so ugly, and like none of them fit correctly. But that's definitely not the most important part of that clip. She is literally calling the left Satan. She's like, indirectly I'm talking about them because I'm talking about Satan. And that's just the thing about Turning Point USA, is it is a massive evangelical fake Christian gathering that is trying to whip these people up into a frenzy to believe that they are in a holy war. Speaker of the House Mike Johnson got up there and said that one of Charlie Kirk's favorite Bible verses is literally a call to arms.
Charlie understood the reason he was so passionate about that message is he knew that it is easy to take freedom away from a people if they do not understand the source of it. I love that he read Psalm 11:3, not just as a rhetorical question, but as a call to arms. You know that scripture. It says, if the foundations be destroyed, what will the righteous do? It's our call to arms as well.
Mike Johnson also said that they're working on a statue of Charlie Kirk for the Capitol.
A few days, we're no longer in a battle, no longer in a contrast just between Republicans and Democrats. We're in a contrast between two completely different, diametrically opposed worldviews. Charlie stood for that. I knew him a long time, and yes, Andy Biggs, we're going to work on that statue in the Capitol, okay?
Yeah, Mike Johnson, we are in a battle between two diametrically opposed worldviews. One who believes it's appropriate to use taxpayer funds to build a statue of a cult leader, and the other side who doesn't. Johnson went into detail in his speech about how he indoctrinates college kids into believing this revisionist history where the founders created the United States to be a Christian nation. Basically saying that all the founders were students of the Bible and they knew that morality only comes from God. And then he talked about how it's brand new that God has been removed from the equation, and it's only the past couple generations that don't believe that God should be at the top of government.
That our rights do not come from the state, they do not come from the government, they come from God himself. And that is what has made us the great nation that we are. Now, look, real quick to close the illustration, then I say, when I'm in a university campus, I say, but you know what the problem is? Over the last few generations, we have strayed from these foundational truths. The foundations are being destroyed. I take an eraser, I go back to the board, and I erase G-O-D, because now there's this movement that denies the Creator himself, denies his commands and his orders and all the things that ordered our liberty in the beginning. And that is the problem, and that is why freedom is imperiled, and that is why we're in a war in this culture to save the greatest nation, this great republic of ours. The best way to restore it is to return and restore those foundations, to return God to the top and to remember who we are beneath him.
That is Christian nationalism. That is quite literally Christian nationalism. Which, by the way, MAGA is the same thing as Sharia law. Like, Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard went on an insanely Islamophobic rant during her speech. Literally, she said that that religion is fundamentally opposed to the values of the United States. And she whined about Sharia law. But that is what Mike Johnson and pretty much every single other speaker at this event, including JD Vance, who I'm going to do a video on next because his was a doozy of a Christian nationalist speech. But that is what Turning Point espouses. That is their entire philosophy, is they want government ran by Christianity with like the freaking same rules as Sharia law. Anti-choice, anti-LGBTQ marriage, anti-woman. They literally want Christianity to be in charge of every single public policy decision. That is what this entire event is about. They make these people think that they are in a holy war with people like me, and they trick them into thinking that America was founded to be a Christian nation. It is batshit crazy. And then they take pictures in a recreation of Charlie Kirk's murder scene. These people are deeply unwell. But thank you for watching. That was a lot of cuckoo bananas nonsense to get through. And stay tuned for my video about JD Vance's nightmare of a speech.